It has been a long time since we last checked in with our friend Fyodor. Since we last heard from him, he's made 2 new Reddit posts, which are by now really old. There were always long gaps between Fyodor's postings, but now after 5 months, I can't help but feel that the ARG just might be over. And honestly, I'm a little disappointed in the way it ended. As I've mentioned in my other videos, I was expecting some kind of Bachelor Route news reveal, especially since the original Pathologic 2 ARG ended with the Kickstarter page going public. And although we have gotten a few other types of Bachelor Route news, none of it had anything to do with the ARG, which leads me to ask the question, what was the point of this? Now don't get me wrong, I really did like the entire ARG and I enjoyed experiencing it, but unless Fyodor or the events of his story is somehow relevant to Daniel's story, then I just don't get it. Nevertheless, let's get into what's new with Fyodor. Last we heard from him, he posted a newspaper article involving an accidental fire which destroyed his home, the nearby area, and took the lives of 2 people. Now he's back with a new post titled Remains. Similar to Fyodor's first ever post, this time we've got a picture of a desk with some items and a letter. This one's also accompanied by a few sentences, which I'll read now. And that's all they were able to keep. The rest turned to ash. All that's left is the figure of a centaur, the keeper of my secret, and the thread that leads to Zeman. I need help. I'm hoping the Overseer can help me find my old friends and fellow associates. Now let's read what this note in the image says. To Mr. Vitin F.A. To him give personally in accordance with this document. Figurine of a centaur, metallic. Photo card of a young woman with strange letters, burns. Wooden box, sealed. So the few things that survived the fire were a wooden box, which is likely the same box that contained the executor mask from Fyodor's mask post, and a photo of a young woman with strange letters, which is surely the picture of Veronica seen at the bottom of Fyodor's messages post, which as you may remember included a similar sounding string of strange letters which puzzled everyone. And now we have a new item introduced, that being the metallic centaur in this image. This centaur led someone to discover the secret behind Veronica's hidden message. Thanks to Rathologic aka Voyager 2 for figuring out that inputting the word centaur in a Visioneer cipher results in the following email address. This being centralbureau@gmail.com. Now we're into real ARG territory. Messaging this email results in a response from the Regional Overseer of the Central District, Zeman A.V. These emails from Zeman usually question the participants on their relationship to Fyodor, and some even mention case file number 196-17-1, which is the same case file mentioned in Fyodor's messages post. Once people started playing along with Zeman, things got interesting. One person emailed Zeman as if they were Fyodor himself reaching out for help. Here, Zeman tells Fyodor that he can't provide any help, but before signing off, he leaves this strange message. The tanks were rusty, crumpled, with straggling lids. In another email, Zeman tells us that access to case 196-17-1 was given to a specific person whose name is next for us to figure out. Also included in this email was another strange message which read, "The trash cans were rusty and battered." Once again, thanks to Rathologic, they put the pieces together and found that this very line is used in the opening of a book named The Doomed City. I assume the other quote is also from this book, but I wasn't able to confirm that myself. Somewhere in this book must be the name Zeman is looking for, and lo and behold, there is a character in the Doomed City that goes by the name Izia Katzman. In case you don't remember, in the mask post, Fyodor tells us his friend and colleague organized his steppe expedition. And this friend's name is Mr. Katzman. So now we have a full name to use in our emails with the Overseer. Although this seems like a step in the right direction, the people who emailed Zeman as Izia Katzman didn't actually make any progress. In one email, Zeman reveals that he and Katzman are actually very good friends, but he declined Katzman access to the case files. In another, Zeman didn't buy into this person impersonating Katzman, but he did let slip that Veronica Croy may be involved in the fire that destroyed Fyodor's home. Seeing as pretending to be Katzman didn't work out, let's turn back to the Doomed City for another character. This Izia Katzman from the book is good friends with the main character Andrei Voronin. And Andrei Voronin shares the same initials with Overseer Zeman, as we can see in his emails. Now this may seem like a far-fetched, but it turns out Andre is the name we're looking for. Emailing the Overseer with this correct persona and inquiring about Fyodor's case files results in Zeman sending one of 6 PNG images, which leads us back to Reddit for Fyodor's next and final post. After Zeman sent out all his case files, Fyodor uploaded all of them in his post titled Old Friends, which we'll look at and read now. These people have helped me and my employers in the past, and I need their help again. But first, I must thank them. They helped us, backed us up. I want to send our shared gratitude to these people, but I can't reach them myself. My last hope is Overseer Zeman, and those caring souls who have been watching me closely. But these people, these real, living, and wonderful people, may have forgotten their heroic deeds, and therefore secrecy and mystery in communicating with them are needless. By gathering these people again, I will be able to continue my work and share my knowledge of history with the public. Please, if anyone knows them personally, help them contact the Central Bureau, my employers, or myself. Ever grateful, historian and academic, Fyodor Alexandrovich Vitin. The rest of the post consists of the 6 case files that were sent out to email participants. All 6 of these files consist of usernames of Pathologic 2 Kickstarter backers, who are, of course, the old friends Fyodor is speaking of. Also, as you have seen, this post includes 3 links. Clicking on Central Bureau and My Employers will both open your email, with one having the Central Bureau email inputted and the other having the backer@icepick.com email inputted. Clicking on Myself will just direct you to Fyodor's homepage. And that is where the ARG seemingly ends. It's been over 5 months since this post, and although Fyodor never posted frequently, he never took breaks longer than a little over a month. So I really do feel like the ARG and this part of Fyodor's story is over. Seeing as the protagonist of the first Pathologic ARG made an appearance in Pathologic 2, I'm sure Mr. Vitin will show up at some point in the Bachelor Route. But we'll just have to wait and see. I and a few others have theorized that the list of Kickstarter names might only include backers who never received their backer rewards. This whole ARG started because Icepick Lodge was able to finally fulfill some rewards and send them out, but it's been a long time since the Pathologic 2 Kickstarter in 2014. And since Icepick Lodge took so long, the list of backers may have abandoned or moved on from the contact information they had at the time, resulting in them not getting what they paid for. Fyodor even mentions that this group of people have forgotten their helpful deeds and that he can't reach out to them. I even reached out to a backer whose name wasn't included on the list, and they confirmed that they did in fact receive all of their rewards. So this might have been Icepick's way of trying to close their backer rewards chapter and move on. I've mentioned a few times that I was expecting the ARG to end in something big, and because of this theory, I think that may have been the intended case. The first ARG ended with a Kickstarter, and I think maybe this one was supposed to as well. Icepick Lodge has tweeted before about fan interest of another Kickstarter, but I'm sure they wouldn't have wanted to start a new one without finishing the first one. Seeing as the ARG might be over, here are my final thoughts about everything. I did enjoy piecing together the clues and following Fyodor's journey, but I do believe the ARG could have been handled better. Having to wait up to a month at points for the story to move on was just slow and tedious. Like, here's a picture or some text to think about for a day or two, and we'll check back in later. Kinda like how the ciphertext was shown in messages, which we couldn't solve until 5 months later when we saw a picture of a centaur. I feel like this could have been solved by being more of a real ARG, where some kind of user input pushed along the story, prompting Fyodor to post. But ultimately, again, I did enjoy everything overall. Well, that's all I have to say. Let me know if you'd be interested in me covering the entire ARG in a single video now that the story's over, because I've been thinking about making one for a while now. Anyway, thank you for watching, and goodbye.